Hey guys, what's up? This is Jack Han here. In today's video, we're gonna talk about how to ask for a letter of recommendation. I know that the application cycle is coming up in around a month and a half, so it's starting to get stressful and you're really trying to get in those letter recommendations. So this is how I ask for my letters of recommendation and how I think you should as well. So step one is to determine who you want to write your letter of recommendations. At my school, Clark University, we had a committee recommendation letter, which means there was a pre-health advisor and you had to ask 5 different people for recommendations. 3 of them had to be from science professors. The other 2 recommendation letters could be from someone like a coach or another dentist or a non-science professor. Ideally, you want to start building a relationship with these people as soon as you can. I know that a lot of people don't, and I'll get into what you can do now in order to still get a nice letter recommendation. Some ways to build a really great relationship is to go to their office hours. When you go to the office hours, try and have 2 questions prepared specifically for the academic work, like classwork. And it doesn't even have to be a question you don't know the answer to. You can ask a question that you know the answer to, just as a way to get your foot in the door and you talking to your professor and to start developing that relationship. Apart from the 2 specific questions about class, you should ask a personal question. So usually professor at the beginning of the semester, they'll give a presentation and it's all about them and how they got to where they are right now, how they got into academia and their hobbies. So if you have any similarities or you have any genuinely intriguing comment or question that you want to give to them, that is your chance and place for you to do so. And on top of that, you should throw in 1 personal thing about you every single time that you meet with them. Of course, don't try and sound robotic. Just talk to them as a person and try and hit these points when you go to their office hours. I completely forgot to tell you guys what classes I actually asked my recommendation from. Those classes were organic chemistry, human anatomy and physiology, as well as the research lab I worked for. I asked that professor. So those were my 3 science courses that I asked from. And then my 2 non-science ones were calculus and also my tennis coach. Step 2, set up a meeting with them so you can ask for your recommendation. Guys, remember that it is their job to write you a recommendation letter. So I think the best move here is to email them and set up a meeting to meet with them in their office and talk face to face. I know right now you can't do that, so the best thing you can go for is a Skype or a Zoom call, a video chat with them, so it's as much face to face as you can get. Also, a tip is to put what the meeting is going to be about, like throw in or subtly hint that you're gonna ask for a recommendation letter in the email, because I forgot to do that with one of my professors and the professor asked what this meeting was in regards to, and I said that, oh, I wanted to ask for a recommendation letter in person, and he said that he didn't appreciate that I didn't give him a heads up of me even asking him in person, because he thought it was like a stressful situation on him. So if your professor is more like shy or awkward, or you think that, of course you use your best judgment, and you think that they would appreciate just an email instead of you going in and asking them, and that would make them more comfortable, you could do that too. So when you do get into their office, and this is where you can make up for not going to their office hours and developing a relationship with them, is after you ask them what this meeting is all about, that you want to ask for a recommendation letter, you go into your personal story and you want to talk to them about yourself, your dreams and aspirations, you know, why you want to go into dental school or medical school or optometry school or whatever you want to get into. It's kind of like a good practice, you know, for dental school interviews as well, because you're going to be expressing why you want to go into dentistry, which is what a lot of schools are going to ask you in their interview. At the end of it all, before you leave, you want to ask for a recommendation letter, but you want to word it correctly. I asked a lot of dentists and other faculty of what I should say when I'm asking for the letter of recommendation, and some of them said, oh, ask for a strong recommendation letter, and some said ask for a positive recommendation letter, because you really want to make sure that they're going to write a really good one. Otherwise, you're not going to, you know, it's going to be really difficult to get into the program that you want. So I decided to put them together. So whenever I asked for a recommendation letter, I said, could you write me a strong and positive recommendation letter? So for dental school, the AdSAS application, if you're gonna submit the committee letter, you get the committee letter and then you get one extra letter. I'd say definitely use that extra letter. So try and get 6 recommendations. I use that extra spot for my dentist to give me a recommendation letter. And additionally, I actually sent another recommendation letter from a different dentist to all the schools that accepted more recommendations. So finally, after all of that, you want to follow up. So within the next, 24, 48 hours after the meeting, you first want to send them a thank you. So you could do that through email or a handwritten card. On that letter or email, you want to give them your CV or your resume and like a summary of what you guys talked about, what points that you want them to talk about on your letter, because obviously everyone is busy and they might not get to your recommendation letter until weeks in the future, and you need that so they can re-jog their memory, and then they're like, oh right, like that student actually was a great guy, I'm gonna write him a good recommendation letter. And then you just follow up constantly. So I would follow up once every 2 weeks. You want to do it early so you have that time to follow up and you give that time to them to write you a really great recommendation letter. There's one professor that I had to ask multiple times, and my pre-health advisor said that I should choose another professor, but I knew that my relationship was great with that certain professor and he was gonna write me a recommendation, so I stuck with it. I kept having to remind him, but at the end he pulled through as soon as the application opened and I got him onto the committee letter. So that's it. I think that's the best way to ask for a recommendation letter. If you enjoyed this video, please give a like and subscribe. It would really help the channel. If you have any questions and you want to ask me something specifically, go ahead and put it in the comment section below. As well, if you have any video ideas, go ahead and comment those as well. And thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.